Okay, now let's do something a little bit more complicated. Let's use text scan to read a file where the fields are different types of information. So let's look at this file, names ages.csv.txt. So this is a comma separated value file again, and the first line is the header, which says which describes what's following. So it's going to be a name and then a comma and then an age, and then here are some names and ages that I sort of made up. But now you can see that you've got a name, which would be a string, and a comma, and then a number for the age, right? So let's write a script that reads in that that data. So let's make a new script. Let's call it read names ages. Let's change the header information as usual. Read names ages. Script that reads names and ages from our file. So first of all, make sure the file that we're opening is the one we want to open. Okay, so this is still good. If file ID is -1, that means there was something went wrong, so we send an error message. So we only get here if the file is open for reading. Now, this is almost right. The fields are still delimited by a comma. There's still one header line, but now the first thing that we're reading in is a string. So we can change that F to an S, and everything else is good. Close that. Right, so now we don't want this anymore because we're not talking about X's and Y's and plotting them. But we should be able to run that and have something to look at on the command line window. Read names ages. So I should now have a variable data, which will be a structure, and now it's telling you that this structure is 7 big, which is right because there are 7 names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the first part of the structure is called cell, and the second part is double. So if you just want the names, that's that first part of the structure. If you just want the ages, that's the second part of the structure. So we could split up the structure into separate arrays for name and age, or names and ages. So names is data 1, ages is data 2. So now let's see if we can't sort the names based on the ages. This is something very useful that you'll do quite often, probably when you read in a data file. You probably at some point want to sort it based on one of the fields that you've read in. So let's say we want to sort the ages. So MATLAB has a command sort. Let's do it like in the program. So we'll make ages equal data 2, so that's the list of ages. And then if you do sort ages, that will sort that array into numerical order. So you can see that quite clearly. It's put the lowest number first and the highest number last. And what you'll often want to do is sort the other array, the array of names, based on this answer. So you've sorted by age, but what you want to do is you want to associate the names with those ages still. And MATLAB's really good in that respect because it lets you do this. It lets you do things like you can call sort like this. So now what this is saying is sorted ages will now be an array that contains the ages in sorted order. Okay, but indices is an array that contains the indexes in the original array. So ages element 4, that's the lowest one, and ages element 7, that's the highest one. See? And in order they go 4, 3, 6, 5, 2, 1, 7. So now if you type, did I actually define names? I don't think I did. Let's get the names out. So now if you do this, that's the names in sorted order. So that's really useful. So let's plug this into our script. Sort the names based on age order. Let's do exactly the same thing we just did, but do it in the script this time. So we sort ages and we keep the indices. And now we want to do sorted names is names indices. Okay, that's exactly what we just had. So when I run this now, let's go back to the... Now sorted names should be that array. Okay, let's finish this off by writing out the file, writing out a file with the names and ages, or the names and the ages in order of the age. So remember in lecture 1 I said that a lot of programs in the end come down to reading something in, doing something with it, and then writing it out again. So at the moment in this script we've got reading in, we read in the list of names and ages, we've done something with them, we've sorted the names based on age order. That was this bit here. And now let's complete the picture by writing out a file with the names and ages, or with the names in age order. So to write a file out, we have to use fopen again. So we open a file, sorted names, and when we're writing we add a W that tells MATLAB to open the file ready for us to write to it. Now again, if something goes wrong and MATLAB for some reason can't open that file, then the file handle file ID will be a value -1, and we can trap that and display a message. And our program won't go any further than that. So we only get here if file is open to write to. So let's write to it. So we're going to output using fprintf, and fprintf, if you put the file ID first and then a format specifier or whatever you want here. So first of all I want to write the header line, so I'm going to write, so it's in exactly the same format as namesages.csv.txt. It had name age at the top. I want to keep that, so that'll fix that bit. And now I need to loop over the elements of sorted names. So for I equals 1 to length of sorted names. Okay, so whatever I put in here, that will get done for every element of every index that there is a size of the array sorted names. And what I want to do is I want to print out fprintf to the file ID. I want to print a line out which looks like a string, and then a comma, and then a number, and then a new line. I suppose it's an integer really, you can use I for integer. And now the things to print out, first of all it's sorted names, element I, and then it's sorted ages, element I. Okay, and then after I've written out, I need to remember to close the file. Alright, let's see if that works. It didn't work. I knew it wasn't going to work. So what's happened here is it said function fprintf is not defined for cell inputs. So what's happened is that our array sorted names is actually a structure, and this is something about MATLAB that you have to bear in mind, is that everything in MATLAB is treated like an array. So This array, sorted names, is actually an array of arrays, and each of these strings is an array, which is a separate thing in this structure. So to fix this, all I need to do is change that to a curly bracket, and then it will treat each of those elements of that structure like I am expecting it to. So now if I look at sorted names, that's this file, that's exactly what I expected. It's written out the name and the age in the same format as before, but now the names are in order, the rows are in order of increasing age.